Happy New Year. It is January 1st, 2025 as I record this video, and it is a new year, which means it's time to look back on the last year. Last year was not the most productive year for me. I think I captured maybe 9 images that I would consider portfolio worthy. Quite frankly, it's probably closer to 8. There's one of them that I'm a little wishy-washy on, but I'm not going to tell you which one that is. Maybe you can comment below and tell me which one you think I'm not all that happy with. But I have to admit that the last 2 months of 2024 were probably the most productive and happiest I've been in my photography easily in the last year. So I look back on that with fondness and excitement as I move forward into 2025. I have some ideas for 2025, and I'm not gonna call it a resolution, but a desire for 2025. And I'm gonna share that with you at the end of this video. But for right now, we're just gonna sit here and go through the 9 images that I considered good for 2024. So without further ado, let's jump on into that countdown, starting with my first image here from Duluth, Minnesota.
This first image is one I cleverly titled West Fork. I captured this image along the West Fork of the Split Rock River in Split Rock State Park near Duluth, Minnesota, my hometown. This is one of 2 images I captured on this day, and this is a small waterfall, obviously. It's not very big, maybe 12 or 15 feet tall, and this is just a very small section of the waterfall. I zoomed in on it. I just really was drawn into the contrast of the water and the rocks and that converging pattern of the waterfall in that bottom third of the frame. What I like about this image is the contrast. I love it. If you glance at it quickly, you might think it's just a high contrast black and white, but this is a color image. Just the wet, dark rocks and the contrast of the bright white water and that pattern of the water bouncing off the rocks is really what drew me into taking this image. This image was also captured in Split Rock State Park, just a few, well, maybe half a mile from the West Fork waterfall picture. This one is also the West Fork of Split Rock River. This is a composition I've tried in the past, albeit slightly differently. I did it a little wider in the past and in color, and there was also less water in the river in the past when I took the shot. So it works a little better this time. The light was very soft and diffused. It really glinted off of that rock, really made that texture of the rock very prominent and popped right off the print, I thought. And the amount of water in the river and the flow of it was kind of perfect for a 1-second exposure. Kind of gave a similar texture and flow in the water and the rock, and the lighting of it just sort of mimicked each other. I really like this shot. This one's all about that texture in both the rock and the water. This image is all about the texture and the color. This is an image I got near Montville, New Jersey, near Kohler Ridge Park, I believe it's called. But this was just this beautiful, huge boulder pushing up out of the earth, and it had these great layers to it, pushing up at 45 degrees. And I had a nice, soft, kind of diffused, cloudy day with dappled light coming through the trees, which really helps kind of pop these colors a little bit on this image. It's really all it's about is the colors and the patterns and textures, and I really love the deep shadow of those lines between the layers of rock, just kind of leading to this corrugated pattern in the rocks.
I have half an acorn shell resting just in the surface of the water, and a little tiny brown spotted leaf next to it. And I've got this really still, stagnant water that's kind of got the oils and the tannins leaching from the leaves and the trees and the plant life around us up in it, which is giving it this kind of a cool rainbowy sheen, and also getting a great reflection of the sky in it. So this water looks really, really silver, and just providing a great contrast between the browns of this acorn shell and this leaf. Found another shot, and I think the rain is lending to this composition. Ooh, words are hard. I need to slow down in my speech and my photography. This shot, straightforward. This is about the contrast. This log, this fallen over log with this gnarly knot, and it's just got these inside are these just kind of still dry, rotting yellow, just they look like fangs, just mouth, just it looks like just this alien mouth coming at you. And that's the shot. It's really straightforward. This one's all about texture and contrast pattern. Love it. That's really what I think I enjoy about the woodland photography, is just those textures and patterns, close-up shots of things. All right, friends, we're set up on the shot. This is so amazing. I think there's probably more than one shot with this tree, but I just came right up in here to the section where it's kind of branching out. This tree is like almost split into immediately four huge trunks coming out of the ground. But I got this one section right here in front of me where it's splitting this way, and then the other two behind it are kind of curling up into it. And this is just about the sweeping patterns of these trees. I got down a little bit low, shooting down just a little bit because I'm catching a little sky through a crack over here on my right-hand side that I don't want in my image. But this is it. This whole image is just about the sweeping motion and striations of this bark in this tree. All right, my friends, here we are. We found our second shot. And this one is kind of a classical me shot in tight on a bunch of cool brown curled up leaves on a log. This one's all about texture and fall color. But again, different. We're shooting wide angle. So I'm actually in closer than I could get with my telephoto lens, but I'm gathering more of the scene. So it's really this shift. This simple shift, a simple thing that it hadn't even occurred to me, is making a world of difference in my photography and my mood today. This is exciting and new. All right, here's our shot, or another shot, really. Remarkably similar to the one I just took, but this one is a honeysuckle leaf, I think. It's gorgeous though. It's just got this great bright center vein running right through it, and there's all these little little veins shooting off to the side that are also really, really bright light color compared to the rest of the leaf, which has got this really dark kind of golden color, which is again beautiful against this undisturbed snow just off the trail here. This shot is real straightforward, just kind of centering up on that frame, just a little bit off to the left side of the frame.
All right, my friends, there they were, my favorite images from 2024. Like I mentioned, the last couple of months of the year were where it really ramped up for me. And it wasn't about the quantity of images I made, it was about the quality of them. And more importantly than that, even was the act of just creating them. That's what really got me very excited, was the act of creating my art. And I want to focus on that in 2025. I want to focus more on just the act of creation, not necessarily the quantity. The quantity has no bearing on anything. I want the process to be what I focus on. I'm very excited about that, looking forward, and I want to encourage you to do the same thing. I want to encourage you to create your own art, to create your own photography, your own writing, your own pottery, your own woodworking, whatever your passion is, do more of it, and do it for yourself first and foremost. The most important audience you have is you. So I want to thank you for sticking with me through 2024, and I hope you'll continue the journey with me through 2025. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you would like to see some more, see what happens with me and my art in 2025. And tell your friends, because the more the merrier. And I would love it if you stopped over at toddhphoto.com and checked out some of my work from 2024 and 23 and 22 and years before that. And while you're there, I would love it if you signed up for my mailing list. There I just mail out my blog once a month, just an image, short story to go with it, and as a subscriber to the mailing list, you get a little early access to that blog before it's released on the webpage. And in the celebration of the new year, I'm going to launch a print sale. I've just recently launched my shop. I've got a little section there with some fine art prints, and if you enter in the promo code NY25, I'm going to get 25% off any print sales. Some of the images from 2024 are in there. It's about a selection of 6 to 9 of my favorite images overall, and I would love it if you would check it out. So here's to looking forward to 2025, and we'll see you next time.